Morning, guys. So today I want to talk about radios. And on my last video, I mentioned that I was gonna give you a little breakdown of the type of radio that I'm using on the field versus the type of radio that I have laying around in the house. Now, keeping with the same theme that you don't have to have very expensive radios out there to communicate, whether you're doing it with your family or with a group of people that you hang out and do LARPing stuff. Okay. Um, so I have two radios here that I use, two different categories. They are made by the same company. Uh, Let me show you the radios right here. They're both Baofeng radios. Okay. But there is a difference between what I called a hangout radio at the house and what I call a field radio. And I'm gonna show you here in a minute why. Anyways, if you see me kind of looking up on the side, it's because I'm actually looking at the screen. I should be looking at the camera. Gotta get used to that. But anyways, these two models of radios are the first one is the UB 82. Okay, this is kind of like a middle of the road improvement radio from the well-known UB5R. Okay, and as for performance, they all do the same thing. The second radio that I use, and this is the one that I use on the field, is this model right here. Okay, and that is the UV9R, and this is the Plus model. And I'm going to tell you why. If you noticed on the UB5R82, it uses this type of a Kenwood style pin connector. Okay, now this type of connector has been used by Yaesu and a bunch of other really high-end dollar radios for a long time, and they work just fine. So naturally, some of the radio companies will follow that trend. Now, the reason why I do not like to carry this radio on the field or in the field, okay, is because of this connector. The original UB5R radios were known for having damaged speakers, because people were they will be hitting this with a brush, or just basically walking on the field and doing stuff, and this pins will hit the interior of the speaker and basically destroy it, and you could not use a speaker anymore if you got tired of using something like this, right? The other thing is, look how exposed this stuff is. Like I said, if you guys notice, those who are into radios, there's a very large community out there that has come up with a bunch of printed molded stuff that you can attach to the sides, like a little sleeve or protector that protects all of these buttons and all of this stuff to prevent exactly what I just described. That's why I do not take this radio to the field, only to hang around the house, to hang it here on my desk just so I can hear stuff. And also, I do not believe that this radio is fully IP67, and although you can take it out there and get a little wet, I do not believe that it is as waterproof as the other model that I have here. Now, in contrast, the UV9R is a little bit more rugged. It's a little thicker, but it's a little smaller, it's a little chunkier. And what Baofeng has done is that they have copied the Motorola style pin connector like they have on their radios, And what this has done, okay, it has eliminated the problem that this radio has with the Kenwood style connector, right? And it uses the same thing. It has like a little notch right here on the side that attaches to the side of the radio, and then you have a screw, and you have pins that attach a little plate on the side of the radio here, and that's how you communicate using the microphone. But the thing is, this is a secure connection. Now this right here will not have the same problems as this other radio, where if you are in the field and you're running around and you're in the woods and you're smacking this thing around, there will not be any kind of problems with this type of connector. Okay, right here, like the Kenwood style. This also makes it more waterproof. So protection wise and waterproof wise, this system is better. And that on itself is the main reason why I chose this radio. Another thing that you can see here, I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, see if I can give you more light here. There you go. This radio has like a little protector that goes around the knob here, which is another thing that attracted me, that this radio was built, or it is built more rugged, more capable of taking more beating on out there in the woods. Okay, the traditional radios, this one has like a little itty bitty raised lip right here, not that much, but the entire knob is exposed, which is another thing that can be damaged when you are in the field, right? Now, when it comes to performance, both of these radios, they will do the same exact thing. In fact, they use the same exact program. You can program them by traditional way. You have the 2-pin connector here, connector where you can put it to a sharp and connect it. This one uses the same style of connector here to with the pins, Motorola style, to program it through sharp as well. Or you can use the keypad to program this radio on the fly, on the field. So performance wise, software wise, they are the same. They do the same exact thing. They have the same goofy voice, the same capability. They do not share the same battery, and that's another thing where these two radios set themselves apart. The traditional battery for the UV82, this one here, is this one here, which is a very, very long battery. And some of them, depending on the battery that you have, will have like a little connector on the side, so you can charge the radio on to the cigarette lighter, 12 volt, or in this case, this one doesn't have it. This one here in the back does have like a little hole here, and there is a cable that you can actually connect it through this little hole here. It has like a little internal little thing to charge that battery, and you can actually charge this also on the road. And they sell them to where you can actually hook it up to an external battery pack or solar panel, whatever. So this radio can be also charged in the field. But where this other radio, the UV82, sets itself apart from the UV89 9R sets itself apart from this other model that I should show you, is that this battery right here has a new type of charging port. You have a USB-C charging port, as well as your traditional docking station connectors to charge the battery. So you don't have to necessarily, I mean, you can charge this radio pretty much anywhere, okay? And the batteries are a little larger on the UB82. They do sell smaller batteries, like about this size for the UAB82, but for more usage, you of course buy the bigger ones. But that's as far as it goes. So this is another thing that it looks like Bofang, I don't know how to pronounce it, has done to keep up with this radios, where you can actually now have batteries that you can take on the field and charge. Now this is the traditional battery that came with it. If you notice, the same thing, but one is missing the port in the back. Okay, and as I mentioned to you in my prior video, I was going to show you what I use in the field to charge these batteries, and I have total four batteries. Half of them have this port, the other one have the traditional battery. So I use first the traditional battery and then I use the ones with the charging port at the end, and if I had to extend time on the field, I can go ahead and charge them. And how I do that is by using one of these. Now look how small this thing is, guys. I mean, this is like literally, it's really, really small. But when you open this puppy up, look at this. Now you have a solar panel, and you can see it's collecting light already, so it's working. And these things are great. It's like a little book. All right. So you have a combination of something like this, and then you have, and I'm going to use this as an example because these are the little ones that I use for the house. But you have this little battery banks right here. Okay. And you put in combination something like this, or a couple of these, or a bigger one, and you take that with you in the field, and now you can charge these battery banks, or these batteries for the radio, with this little battery banks, or the bigger ones that I have, which I have in my bag, and you can be in communication for extended period of time, if not indefinitely. Okay, so you can actually use this. So this is a combination of what I use on my backpack, and it has a little sleeve here where you can actually put, or like a little pocket, I'm sorry, where you put those charging cables. And these cables are also not only good for these batteries, depending on the type of cell phone that you have. You can actually, I mean, I'm a Samsung guy, so I can use USB-C cables to charge my cell phone. So overall, communication wise, I am completely in the loop. Okay. Now there are many companies out there that have improved tremendously these types of radios. They have done a great job. These newer models that they have nowadays, they have what they call the clone technology, where they use Bluetooth, and you can not only use your cell phone to communicate and program the radios, you can also use radio to radio to basically key up, and you transfer data from one radio to the other. Now that is all really good stuff. I really like it. In fact, that is actually amazing. Okay, and some of them have the ability to even when you transmit within 30 feet of whoever, if they don't have any type of knowledge of where your repeaters are with the tones and SST codes and stuff like that, some of those radios can pick it up and program themselves automatically in your radio. So the technology has advanced enough to where you can say these radios are great. But the problem is that most of them, they still use this type of pin connector. And I feel like this is something that every company out there should move away from. These things are not that great. And it's not because it's a Baofeng. I think this connector is crap. I mean, this is old technology stuff, man. This is like, you know, 1980s, Walkman style 3.5 jacks, connectors. This should be replaced already. Okay, truly. I think they should go and start using this system on everything. Now, I wish that Baofeng would have, you know, um, done something different. I mean, because they have a new version of this radio, and it comes in different colors. But they took away the protection of the knob, and they still gave it the little itty bitty screen that you see right here, right? So if they can put something like the UV21 or 25, I think it's the UV21, that's a nice color screen on this, and keep these features and give them all the different colors of options, I will upgrade to that radio. But in the meantime, I'm staying with this. I'm staying with this model because this model uh, gives me the peace of mind that I'm going to be out there in the field and beat the crap out of it, and I am not going to have any issues. Now, like I said, as performance goes by, they all have the same thing. You have several buttons here. You have a light. You can listen to FM frequencies for emergencies. You do have a flashlight built in on the top of the radio. All of them have it, by the way, and you can very easily turn that on. And if you don't have a flashlight and you have an emergency and you have a radio with you, I mean, this is a force multiplier. So these radios, I mean, whoever designed this radio, despite how cheap they are, because you can buy them anywhere between about $25 up to maybe $60 on Amazon, on eBay. But whoever designed this, they did a great job. Okay, now if you are in the field out there, whatever, you can put a piece of tape over that, light, and that's it. In fact, here in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually paint mine. I'm going to paint it tan, and I'm going to give it a nice little, camel pattern to it. But I haven't gotten there yet. I should have done it years ago, but I never did. But so basically, this is the reason why I use one radio over the other. Okay, is the philosophy I use and why I have it set up, one to go out there on the field and the other one to be at the house. If you guys notice, I have mine set up with an extra cable here. Now this goes up to my headset. Okay, I don't have pelt doors. I don't have anything like that. Like I said, I am not rich. I cannot afford to buy a $300, $400, $500 set of pelt doors or anything below or around the same range. I am doing the old-fashioned pour, walkers, and I have modified mine in such a way where I can either use the mic by disconnecting this from here, or I can route it through to my headset on the side, and I have internal communication with my headset where I don't have anybody listening to what's going on. Okay, but that's how I have mine set up, and that's why I choose one radio over the other. So we're looking at capability of charging on the field. The batteries are not that big yet. They have enough capability. Okay. You have many ways of charging these batteries. You have the longevity of the radio, plus the IP rating for waterproofness or not, and stuff breaking in the field. So that's why I choose one over the other. And like I said, there are many different options of radios out there, but you do you choose whatever you want to choose. And at this point, I hope, keeping in theme with my last video that I made as to why I chose, not only because I have no choice, also because it was very affordable when I did my Votatu second and final impression of the product, and why I kept it and why it's still sitting on my rifle. I kind of see the same thing with this type of radios. They are very inexpensive, yet they provide invaluable usage. Like I said, I have mine programmed to listen to police departments, AMSA, fire department. I have all my local repeaters, GMRS, as well as ham on my area. And in case of an emergency, I can key up. Now, I want to give a disclaimer to you guys, because otherwise the ham guys are going to have a freaking heart attack if any of them come across this video. This is a dual band radio. You can basically key up or transmit into different frequencies. You have the 2-meter ham band. You can use GMRS band, and you have the 70-meter band. Now, for the 2-meter band, definitely you do have to have a GMRS, at least at a minimum, a technician license. For the GMRS, if you want to have it for peace of mind, you pay the fee. It used to be $70. I don't know if it has gone down or not, but the entire family, up to 10 people, can use this radio, and you can have the license for about 10 years. Okay, they give you like a handle, a code. All right, and so anybody can key up and have this type of radios. In case of an emergency, also, or the shit does hit the fan and the FCC, there's no government whatever at that point, whether you use GMRS or 2-meter or whatever band. It's a free for all. If you need to communicate and use it, it is what it is. Okay, but in the meantime, while we still have to pay taxes and we still have law and order, okay, yes, you do have to follow the rules, and this requires a license to key up on the 2-meter ham band. Okay, and man, this freaking camera is driving me insane with all this freaking, it's going out of focus. It just bothers me so much. Oh my god. Anyways, I gotta replace that, guys. It is a cheap little camera that you put there and attaches to the PC. But anyways, I digress. So keeping again with the theme of radios, you don't have to have a really expensive radio. Now, my original choice was a Motorola. Okay, Motorola makes some really great radios, but the problem is that they are a little bit more complicated, and they're required someone to be very knowledgeable to program those type of radios for you. And even though you can buy fairly inexpensive nowadays on eBay used, they still go for like about 150, 170 bucks. And not everybody is going to dish out 170 bucks for the radio. So that's where that gap is filled out completely by Baofeng, where you can still buy their traditional radios, but with a lot of Motorola style capability and characteristics that makes it more rugged in the field. Let's see what else. I don't think I missed anything. I gave you all basically all the details on that, guys. I just want to plug in this real quick here on in this video. Things are getting out of hand. In 2025 started with a huge bang. We have had a lot of people die. Today's the third day of the month, and we haven't even passed a week yet, and we already have had close to almost 30 people die already, between the Trump Tower, Elon Musk truck to the guy, and the guy who run over a bunch of people in New Orleans, and then you have that club that got a bunch of people died, and it's just getting to the point where you need to make sure that whether you use this for home, like I have this one here, like a little safe queen sitting on my desk on a little cradle there, or you use something a little bit more rugged on the field, you need to have something to communicate, because things are getting to the point where it's a crescendo and it's building up, and I have a feeling that this is not over. This is just the beginning. Now things might change, but you all know what's been happening for the past 15-20 years, where we have found out that we have given certain countries access to our grid, to our communication, and you all keep hearing all of these issues with AT&T and Verizon and all of these other cell phone providers where they lose capability, and your cell phone becomes a glorified paperweight. And that's where these radios shine in. You cannot. These things are amazing. They are independent. They don't require any cell phone carrier data or anything. They are standalone units. They can communicate, and if you are smart enough and you set them up properly, you can even set up your own repeater, and you can actually communicate and talk with the family very easily. I know people that they have their own repeaters, and or they use the local repeater in the area, and they can hit from the comfort of the home with a radio like this 15, 20, 30 miles away on a repeater in the city. If you are in a more rural area and you don't have a whole lot of obstruction, they even do up to 70 miles. So these things are great. I highly recommend that you get at least they sell them in a package of 4 or 5 or 1, however you want to do it, but these things are amazing. I think everyone should have this nowadays, everywhere, in your car, in the house. Basically, they are so cheap that you can have a whole bunch of them laying around. Now, we have also a major storm coming in here in the next couple of days. So anything above, Kansas and even Arkansas, they are looking into getting snow and sleet and ice and all this frozen crap. I'm here in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is known for having major, sleet storms, and basically everything freezes and destroys all the vegetation. So that the power grid is going to get hit. And if this have not gone down, this one will work. Okay, people will be able to communicate, and you can listen to FM radios frequencies with this thing, so you can actually listen to emergency radios. Anyways, I'm done ranting here. If you guys found this video helpful, and if you feel like I have helped in any way, give me a like and a subscribe. It is my intention to continue with this type of videos where I'm actually showing that you don't have to have a whole lot of money in order for you to communicate or to protect your family and have gear. Most of these Chinese companies, whether we like them to admit it or not, they all have filled a very crucial gap on things that other companies have failed to do miserably, and they are always chasing the greenback by the millions, and they forget about the little people like us. And that's where companies like Baofeng will fill the gap, and I am, depending on the radio that I have, depending on the capability, I will use them. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of them laying around, and they're not even the latest models. I still appreciate the older models because of the capabilities that they have. Anyways, you don't have to break the bank. If you guys like the video, leave me a comment, give me a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please stay strapped. Keep your head in a swivel. 2025 just begun, and things are not looking good for anyone. Okay? So, this is Andy with my neck of the woods. I'll see you guys around.